Do you download that app?
What app?
Like the recording thing?
Yeah, I had to download it.
What is it?
It's called Display Video Capture. Now, Keon and Steve Vaughn are arguing. They can't decide who is king. I gotta tell one of them which one is hella awesome. That was weak. It started out good. Steven and Keon, yeah, arguing and king. Then it went weak. Sorry about that, guys. It's Friday. What do you want?
It is recorded.
All right, here we go. Yesterday we did background on this stuff. So, a couple of things. Let's get that written down. Why does a math guy not want to write that? Harmeet. Because they're lazy, so they invented a better way to do it. What do they write instead of that?
Exponents.
2 with a little 5 up there, right? This is repeated multiplication. And this is what we call exponents. Exponent form. Now we're going to fill in this chart and then we're going to draw something over here. Okay, that's why there's that big white space there. But first we're going to fill all this in. 2. So because there is only 1, 2, it's 2 with a 1. And this is how we read it. 2 to the first. Okay? This one, there's 2 of them. So it's 2 with a 2. And then we have 2 ways we can read that, don't we? We read it as 2 to the second or 2 squared. Okay? What about this one? 2 to the 3. So we write it as 2 to the third or 2 cubed. And then 2 to the fourth. And there's no fancy name for that. We just say 2 to the fourth. Now, there's a word in there that you guys may not know. Factor. Factors are the numbers being multiplied. So you guys are used to seeing this like this. 2 times 3 equals 6. Where are the factors? No. 2 and 3, because the factors are the numbers that are being multiplied. Those are the factors. Everybody cool? Yeah? Okay. So in this big white space over here, I want you guys to draw what I'm about to draw. Draw a really big X. Okay? Then draw a little tiny Y up here. Okay? The X is the base. And I'm going to highlight that because that's a new word that I'm going to be using through this whole unit. Okay? And the base is 2 different things. One, it's the factor that repeats. So whatever number is there, that's what repeats. Stephen? No, exponents are in the next unit. Okay? Everybody cool? Whatever x is, that's the thing that we're going to repeat over and over and over again. Even if it's a fraction, even if it's a decimal. Okay? The other thing you need to know about bases is this. It's whatever number is directly. And please underline directly left of an exponent. And I'm going to use that. I'm not going to explain it right now, but I want you to have written that down because it's going to make a big difference in a second. Okay? I'm going to wait a second for you guys to get all that down before I go on. Because that's a lot of writing at once. I don't normally write that much, but that's really important. If I were you, I might even put a little Mrs. Bad Crumble cloud around it to remind you of how important that part of it is. This is the math part. This is the part that's important to you guys when you're doing the math part. Okay? Everybody's got that?
No.
Okay. This is the exponent. And I'm going to highlight that. Okay. The
Highlight all this?
Huh?
Do we highlight all this?
If you want to highlight it. If you carry a highlighter. If you don't carry a highlighter, maybe you just want to underline it or circle it or something. The exponent is just the number of times you repeat the base. Okay? Now, you guys all know this from yesterday because we talked about it yesterday, right? Okay. And then we're going to write one more thing about this. The whole thing together and exponent and a base is what we call a power. Okay? It's the whole thing. Power is not written very well there. Power. We talk about just the exponent as being the power, but that's not right. The whole thing is a power. Everybody cool? Okay, now guys, that's a lot of writing. I know. But we won't do any more like that many words. The rest of this is pretty much today is all numbers. So I'm going to make sure you get all that down. And I'm just going to take a second and let you finish it up. I'll shrink it down a little so you can see it all on one page. Has everybody got it all down? Mostly? Okay. Hey, that reminds me. Keon and Jamin, when it's heavily raining like this, keep your eye on the floor in front of you because that white light up there has dripped in the past. No, the one right up on the ceiling. The little white one way up on the ceiling. Okay, please say if water hits the ground in front of you. They said they were going to fix it the first year we built the school, and they didn't. And they said they were going to fix it last year, and they didn't. This is our first big rain, so I want to see if they fixed it. So please keep your eye on it for me, okay? What, TJ? Well, it was raining hard enough that you could hear it 2 seconds ago. So.
The rain woke me up last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to business. Sam, you better start writing.
You're cool.
You're going to need to probably watch the video tonight to get the top. All right. So, guys, this is multiplied out. Math guys are lazy. What would we write there really instead of that? 4 becomes the base. And how many 4s are there? 6. Now listen to me. One of you, more than one of you, at least once, more than once, is going to tell me that this answer is 24. You're going to do 4 times 6. Don't laugh, Kean. Somebody always does it. Grade 12 math guys. You'll say, okay, what's 4 to the 6? 24! Oh, I'm so sorry. They get all embarrassed because they realize that, oh, no. It's not 4 times 6. Okay? One of you is going to do it.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, I know. It's automatic, right? Yeah. So when that happens, we're all going to be very supportive and not make fun of each other, okay? Because it's going to happen to all of us. I even sometimes forget and say it out loud, okay? So let's just keep that. Now, look at B and tell me what you think that is as a power. 3 is the base. And what's its exponent? 1. Because there's only 1 3 there. Understand? Now, you guys are smart kids. We have seen other places in math where the number 1 should be written and we don't write it. Haven't we? So do you think we write that 1 there? Yes or no? No, we don't. So, this is the last thing you got to write. The exponent, and I'm going to be short, I'm going to abbreviate it. The exponent 1 is always there. So we don't write it. Okay? Does everybody understand? Just like this. What number is that I just wrote? 7. What should be there that we don't ever write? TJ. Right. This should be 7 over 1, shouldn't it? Right? But we never write that. Same thing here. This is what we would write, but it's really 3 to the 1. Does everybody understand that? Everybody cool? Okay. So you guys should be able to fill in this table now, yeah? Be a little careful with letters C and E. Yeah, fill in these two boxes. You guys try to fill them in. Because there's no trick here, but you've had to have been paying attention to my notes to do C and E correctly.
So we just time all that?
How many 2s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 2 to what power? 6. Now do that for the rest of it. Go for Myers. Who? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye. Ian, can you please go down to the counseling center? We're recording this. You might have to watch the video later. Okay? You might not, but you also might not be gone very long. So, all right. So who would like to tell me what the exponent in B is?
4.
4. Why is it 4, Austin?
4, 5.
Because there's 4 5s. Good job. Now C is the first tricky one. What's the answer?
Yeah, C is the
What makes C weird? The negative. Now you guys are smart kids. What do brackets do in math class? No. Kyle. Yeah, it holds stuff together, right? So if this 10 is repeating 3 times, isn't it? So 10 must be part of it, right? And how many times did it repeat? 3. 1, 2, 3, right? But what else repeats 3 times? The negative. So I gotta remember to have that negative with brackets. If you don't have the brackets, it's wrong. Because if you don't have the brackets, does that negative repeat 3 times? Do you think? No, because the brackets aren't holding it together. Does everybody understand that? Okay, what's D?
4 times 4.
4 with what number up here? 2, because there's 2 4s. And then this one, you know how to do this one now. What is it? Negative 7 in brackets to the 6. Everybody good? All right, now what's this? 8 to the 4, 7 to the 2. How do we read that? 2 choices. 7 to the second or 7 squared. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to write the short one because I'm a lazy teacher. 7 squared. Cool? We all know that's 7 to the second, but nobody ever says that. Everyone says 7 squared. Right? What's this one? 3 to what power? 6. And what's this one? And how do we read that? 2 cubed. Is everybody good with the basics? Okay. The only thing that's a little weird are negatives, right? But negatives are only a little bit weird if you forget this, right? And I'll show you what I mean on the next page. Everyone is good? Sweet. Okay. Evaluating powers. All right? Evaluating powers means we write the final answer. No exponents. Okay? So, we're going to do 2 steps here. First thing we're going to do is repeated multiplication. So what does this 2 to the 4 really mean? What does 2 to the 4th power mean? Marcus. 2 times 2, how many times?
4 times.
4 times. Right? Okay, that's the repeated multiplication. But I also want it in standard form. Standard form is just a number. So what is this? What's 2 times 2?
4.
4 times 2.
8.
8 times 2.
10. No. 12. 16.
There you go. 16 is the standard form. Everybody good? Now we practiced this with our calculator yesterday, right? How do we do this on our calculator? We hit the base, which is, what number is the base? 2. And then we hit what button? The exponent button, whatever your exponent button is. And then what? Then 4, and then equals. Right? Okay. What is this guy really? No, he's not Sam. Sam is that guy. It was just funny, Austin, because I said, what's this guy really? Just as you said Sam. What's this guy really? Harmeet. What? No. No, TJ. This guy's really 5 times 5 times 5. And then what does that result in, Harmeet? 125. Everybody cool? Yeah? Okay. Fill in that table. While I take a sip of coffee. We were out of cream at my house this morning, so I'm having black coffee.
Black coffee is good.
I'm starting to appreciate it. And as you all know, I am old and fat, so any less amount of fat in my body is good. And cream is pretty fatty.
Cream is a lot.
Cream is a lot of fat, at least 10%.
Ice cap for water.
Low-fat cream is yucky.
And the same with low-fat milk.
No, I like skim milk. That's the only kind of milk I drink.
It's too like it's not thick at all. It's just really
I know. That's why I like it.
You like warmers?
No, skim.
Yeah, I like super.
I like skim. I'm a skim man.
I like homogenized.
Oh my God! It's like drinking a milkshake.
You like
Yeah, that's good. I like thick though.
One time,
That's gross.
there is
up.
one chocolate milk company in the States that makes their chocolate milk out of homogenized milk.
Ew.
No, that's actually pretty good.
That would be gross.
That's pretty good.
Because they have homogenized is like a different taste to it.
Yeah, because
so-
it's full of fat. Fat is taste.
But that would be like a weird
Right.
texture.
It's the fat that makes food taste.
No, strawberry tastes good. It's fat.
Strawberry milk is gross.
No,
It's
good. Strawberry.
Oh, okay. No, strawberry milk is gross.
Yes.
Do you guys know the band House of Pain?
No.
They sang. They were a rap group from Boston. They sing Jump Around. Jump up and get down. Everybody jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump. Right? They sing that.
Strawberry milk?
They in one of their songs, which is called Boom Shalock Lock Boom, there's a line in it that say, "You make me sick like strawberry quick."
Like Nesquik?
Strawberry quick.
Milk is the best. We get all many bottles of that.
What's strawberry quick?
So good.
Nesquik syrup, chocolate syrup, but there's strawberry Nesquik.
That's so good. Don't get chocolate milk. Strawberry better than chocolate.
All right. What's this?
Oh, it is
8. What's this?
36.
No. 6 times 6. What's this? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. What does that get me? 81. What's this? 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is? What?
Wait. No, it's not.
10,000. You were the first one to do it. You did 10 times 4. 40. 8 squared? 8 squared?
64.
No. 8 times 8? 64. 7 cubed?
343.
Which is 343. Is everybody good?
Wait, are you still recording?
Yes, of course I am.
Before that,
I have to record because you left the room for an hour and a half.
Okay.
yeah.
Actually, it was more like 10 minutes.
Oh, but it's gonna
Still.
take an hour.
Okay, now guys, up until now exponents have been easy, right? We've been joking around. Yeah? This isn't difficult. This is just using your common sense because you guys are smart kids. Okay? Everything we've talked about, look at this question and tell me what is the base. Why is it -5? Why did you include the negative when you said -5, Stephen? Because you're right. What is it about the way this is written that made you include the negative? It's in brackets. So this, the base, equals -5. The base is what gets repeated, yeah? So this is -5 times -5 times -5 times -5, isn't it? Okay? Now try to punch that into your calculator and see if you can get the right answer using your exponent button.
Mine says it.
Does it say positive 625? That is correct.
Oh my lord.
Is everybody good? I'll fix yours in a minute, TJ. Now, have a look at this guy. What is the base here? 5. Not negative. Why? No brackets. The base is the thing that's directly to the left of the exponent, right? So left of the exponent was just a 5. That negative isn't directly there. But over here, because of the brackets, the negative is part of it. Does everybody understand that? This is the first place that kids go wrong. So what is this really? If 5 is the base, how would I write it out? Harmeet. I would do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. But what would have to be out in front of it all? A negative. Does everyone understand that? So if I do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, the answer is 625. But what has to be out in front? A negative. Because that negative is telling you everything after it is negative. Even though 5, 5, 5, 5 is positive, the answer ends up being negative. Why is this one positive? Kyle. The brackets make it positive because a negative times a negative gets me a positive, doesn't it? And then a positive times a negative gets me a negative, doesn't it? And then a negative times a negative gets me a positive. Does everybody see that? It's so simple when you think about it, but so easy to forget about and do wrong if you're rushing, correct? But you won't forget about it and do it wrong if you're German. If you're Russian, if you're German, yes? No.
You know the head, you know the girl with the head, she put on her head, put her hoodie on, and walked around.
Wait, did you notice every time we start talking, this is people when they walk past. So like, that's their faces.
I know because I'm so awesome.
I know,
I remember I was going to
Okay.
the bathroom and I could hear it. Like I would listen to the lesson while I was reading the out.
1a. What is the base? Negative 1. Why? Because there's brackets. So this means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, doesn't it? So what's the answer going to be? Negative 1. Because a negative times a negative is a positive. And then a positive times a negative is a negative. Is everybody cool? All right. Now have a look at B. What's the base? 10. No negative. So what is being repeated 3 times? Just the 10 or the negative? Just the 10. So 10 times 10 times 10, which is what? No, 1,000. But, Ethan, talk to me. Why is it a negative at the front? Because there's no brackets. Does everyone understand that? The brackets are like a fence. They hold that negative in the base. So now look at C. Look at C. What's the base? Negative 7. So how do we write that? Negative 7 times negative 7, which is negative 49. Positive 49, because 2 negatives make a positive, yes? All right. Now, D is super freaky. What's the base? Kyle. It's tricky. Don't worry if you get it wrong. It's tricky. Yes. The base is negative 5 because of the brackets. Yes? So how would I write that? Negative 5, how many times? 4 times. Correct? But what have we forgotten, Harmeet? What's missing from that line? I've got my negative 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but what's missing? That negative out in front. So even though we know that this part is positive 625, what do we got to remember? That there's a negative in front of it all. Do you guys get that? It's really, really subtle. And a lot of people make a mistake. I'm not going to say who, but I have taught with math teachers that screw this up. Okay? Now, in this white over here, because this is that important, I want to take a second to talk about it. Negative 2 squared is what?
4.
TJ. No. Negative 4. Because it's 2 times 2 with a negative in front. Got it? What is negative 2 squared?
Negative 6.
No.
Negative 4.
That's positive 4 because the negative is part of the base. Is everybody still good? Everyone is good? Yeah? Okay. Negative 2 cubed is what?
6. Negative 6. No?
2 times 2 times 2, not plus.
6.
8.
8.
What's out in front? So that's negative 8, right? Everybody with me? Now, negative 2 cubed. Negative 8. This is where it gets weird, right? Why is this one positive but this one negative?
Because it's squared.
Yeah, this is a negative times a negative, isn't it? Which gets me a positive. What's this?
A negative.
Negative times a negative times a negative. So let me ask you this. What would negative 2 to the 4th be? Positive or negative? Positive. Why? Because it's negative, 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 right? 2 negatives make a positive, 2 negatives make a positive. So what would negative 2 to the 5th be? Negative 2 squared was positive. Negative 2 cubed was negative. Negative 2 to the 4th was positive. So negative 2 to the 5th would be negative. What's the pattern? It switches according to what, Ethan? Odds and evens. So what would negative 2 to the 27th be? Positive or negative? Negative, because it's got an odd exponent. Okay? Everybody with me? All right. Turn the page over. Do you guys understand this chart? As we go smaller, we are dividing by 3 each time, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Each time we go down an exponent is a divide by 3, yeah? So you guys are smart kids. What is the next exponent below 0? What's the next exponent below 1? 0. So that's 3 to the 0, yes?
And that is nothing.
Whoa, hold up. You want to say it's nothing, don't you? But no. Follow the pattern. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. What is 3 divided by 3? 1. I know, it's weird, right? You want 3 to the 0 to be 0, don't you? But it's not. 3 to the 0 is 1. But is there any way to write it as repeated multiplication? No. This we can't write. But this makes sense, doesn't it? Because it has to be 1. Because we divide by 3 all the way down. Right? So you guys are smart kids. If it happens once in math, how often does it happen? Every time. So if 3 to the 0 is 1, what's 10 to the 0? 1. What's 24 to the 0? 1. What's 722 to the 0? 1. What's 1,693,294 to the 0? 1. It's always 1. Okay? Yes, it does make sense. This is why. Right? Don't write down what I'm about to write down. I just want to show something to TJ. TJ, what is 10 cubed? 10 times 10 times 10. 1,000. What is 10 squared? 100. What is the relationship between 1,000 and 100? I would divide by 10, wouldn't I? And that makes sense because exponents are multiplying going up, so they must be dividing going down. Do you agree? Okay, so what would 10 to the 1 be? 10. There's a divide by 10, right? Right? So every exponent I go down, I divide by 10. So what's the next exponent down from 10? Or from 1? 10 to the 0. Divide by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. It's always going to be 1. Does everybody understand?
Is that a 9? Oh, or that's a 5.
Okay, now guys, Kian. 3 to the 0. Okay, now guys, listen. Here is why exponents gets complicated. Because is the math complicated yet? It's not. But here's where exponents get complicated. Every new rule you learn remembers the old rules. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what did we just figure out? We figured out that everything to the 0 power equals what? Everything to the power of 0 is what? 1. But in your head, you're thinking, wait a minute, there's other rules. I got to keep them up there. So let's look at this first one. What is 6 to the 0? 1. 6 to the 0. Because it's got a base of 6 to the 0. What is negative 5 to the 0? No, it is 1 because everything to the 0 power is 1. Even though there's a negative. Everybody with me? Now, remember, all the other rules still apply. See if you can fill in this. You guys fill it in. D has a trick. And see if you do it right. What's A? 8 to the 0, it's 1. Because it's got a base to an exponent, it's 1. What's B? 1, because it's got a base and an exponent 0, so it's 1. What's C? 1. Terrific. What's D? Negative 1. Good job, Austin. Why? What's missing in D? The brackets. This is saying 4 to the 0, which we know is 1, but there's a negative out in front of it all. So that's why this is negative 1. Do you all get that? It's tricky, right? I said good job. If you had your earphones out like you're supposed to when I'm talking, you would have heard me giving you a compliment. So guys, what does this tell us? What is any number x to the 0? What's that? 1. What if it's negative x? Still 1. What if there's no brackets? Negative 1. Does everybody get that? Remember what I said? We had to remember our rule from the last page, right? That brackets hold that negative in there. It's nothing new, but we got to remember it. Is everybody good? Okay, we got to do one more thing and then we're done. Powers of 10. This is super easy. 10,000, we know already, is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, yes? So what's that as an exponent? 10 to the 4. 1,000, we know, is 10 times 10 times 10, yes? So what is that? 10^3. What's 100? 10 times 10. 10 squared. What's 10? 10 to the 1. What's 1? 10 to the 0. Now you guys are smart kids. What's the pattern with tens? 10 to the 4th? How many zeros? 4. 10 to the 3, how many zeros? 10 2, how many zeros? 10 1, how many zeros? Easy, right? And then anything to the 0 is 1. So what, guys, is 10 to the 7th? It's a 1 with how many zeros? 7. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is 10 million. Everybody got it? That's the last thing. And then you know, believe it or not, this whole booklet that I just gave you, if you understand today, you get the whole booklet. You could write the test. Will I do that to you? No, because I'm not a meanie. So fill this in. What's 5 to the 1?
1. Oh, my bad.
5 to the 1 is? 5. Negative 7 to the 1.
Yeah, my bad.
Negative 7 because of the brackets. 10 to the 1? 10. 10 to the 0? 1.
No, I messed that up.
Everybody good? Okay, now listen. The bell is about to ring, okay?
Stop right now. Stop. Stop. Stop.
This was long today. I'm giving you the weekend off. All right? But on Monday, we're going to do some more notes, some background. No, I lied, because you don't need to. On Monday, we're going to do a little bit more notes, and I'm going to give you 2 workbook assignments. When are those 2 workbook assignments going to be due? No. Wednesday, because Tuesday's your test. Everybody good? You guys have a good weekend. Don't do anything stupid.